Hi, my name is Jessica Barrier, and today I am discussing the book of Job, the story of Job, on page 193 through 218 of our textbook. The story of Job was written in the Bible as a testimony of one man's faith in God, and how unwavering his faith was, no matter what his trials were in his life. This is a story about a man named Job, who remained faithful to God and feared nothing. He praised God for both the good and also the bad in his life. The story of Job in the Bible, the Hebrew Bible, shows the relationship between Job and God. The story of Job I find to be a very interesting one. It started off with the character Job, who had everything anybody could ever imagine. He had money, he had cattle, he had a family, he had basically everything anybody could ever want. He basically had a kingdom, and he was living the life anybody would dream of. And one day, the devil came to God, and God would tell the devil how faithful Job was to him, and how Job never displeased God. And the devil told God that, how would you know that Job is faithful to you? Because all he had lived was a good life. He had good things. He never struggled. He never faced any evil. And so the devil told God that he wanted to test Job's faith in God. And God allowed him to do this, with the exception that the devil could not take his life. So in the blink of an eye, Job lost everything. He lost his home. He lost all his cattle, all his money. He lost his family. His family died. And he was stricken with illness. He had boils all over his body. He was suffering for a long time. And his wife went to Job and said, "Why don't you curse God for all your sufferings?" And Job told her, "I would never curse God, and you need to leave me alone, because I will never do that." No matter what Job went through, he remained faithful to God. He had gone through so many tests throughout his life, and he kept his faith in God no matter what happens in his life. This story I find is very important because it describes how a man was afflicted and how he went through many storms in life as he struggled for a very long time. And all of us in our lives go through storms and trials and tribulations, but it's your faith in God that carries you through. And when God knew that Job was faithful, and he remained faithful no matter what happened, he, in the end, ended up blessing Job with just as much or even more than what he had before. Because Job said, "I have had everything good in my life. I deserve to have some bad, because God had blessed me so much. For me to go through this, I will never curse God, because what God has brought me through and what God has done for me." I find this story, the book of Job, to be very interesting, and a story that I look to my life to be just like Job. The 5 points that I take from the story of Job was that Job was a very important story in the Hebrew Bible. Also that Job suffered so much, tremendous affliction with illness, lost his family, lost everything, but he still never cursed God, no matter who told him that he should. Job's wife wanted Job to curse God, and he refused. He told his wife to leave him. Job felt that God had blessed him so much in his life that he could suffer because it would be okay, because he knew that God was always there for him, and he would always be there for him. No matter what he went through, God was always going to carry him through. God, and in the end, God blessed him twofold of what he had before. And this is a true testimony of what God does in one's life. I really liked the story of Job.